box of embroidery down here, so I'm trying to tuck it out of the way. That's better. A little bit better. Good morning, everybody. My little cue card, so I remember to say my things. My name is Red Moon Eagle, and you are with Daily Devotions with Red Moon Eagle. Yay! And Astra is here with me. She kind of has been going back and forth this morning. I don't think she's sure what she wants. It is Thursday, January 11th, 2024. Wow, we're in 2024. Woo! Time flies. Sorry, I was not prepared this morning. So you get to see me struggle bus this morning. It happens to the best of us. I have this embroidery box. And I normally have it tucked completely up underneath the chair. And I've been needing it because I've been doing an embroidery in the evening. So it's not tucked away the way it's supposed to be. Okay, I think I have it. Okay, January 11th, 2024. We're in the tide of destruction between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. Yay! Let me know, guys, if you want to know like what the astrology stuff is doing too. I don't look at it every day, but I know that a lot of people do, so I can if you want to. Just let me know. And then, let's see. Oh yeah, our cards. What is our theme for today? Okay. Self-care. Number 25, ground yourself. Oh, this is a pretty card. The mantra today is, I am grounded, stable, and strong. Come into the present moment, connect with the earth, and stabilize yourself in a harmonic state through grounding. Isn't that beautiful? Journal prompt. How do you feel after taking time to connect with the earth physically and go through a visualization meditation? Those of you who can't visualize, don't stress it. There are some of you that can't do or don't have the ability to see images inside your head. When you close your eyes, it's just dark. And that is a real thing. And you are still beautiful and wonderful and important. And visualizations may be more of an exercise of breath work and thinking through a process to bring yourself into connection with Earth. If you don't visualize, it's okay. Okay, so our animal spirit guidebook today is the whale. Desire to delve deeper, profound peace, ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine force of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost, and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. When in balance, calm, steady, deeply passionate, compassionate. When out of balance, heavy, slips into an old story. To bring into balance, regular self-care. That's a beautiful card. I love that. Desire to delve deeper, profound peace, ancient wisdom. Love that. Okay. Mystical Shaman Oracle. And we have card 63. Wind. The essence of the symbol of the wind represents the element of air. It rules communication, thought, song, inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities both positive and negative. The wind blows from each of the four directions. There are different qualities bestowed by each. South, carrying new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. West, calling you to more introspection, to a willingness to make final decisions, to let go of attachment and ego desires. North, moving to bring you wisdom and strength. East, carrying, clarifying of vision and purpose. Whichever wind is blowing for you, the message which the wind whispers and shouts is a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but you will find exaltation in moving toward it and receiving its lessons. The invitation of the spirit of wind comes calling. It's a sign of change. Perhaps you need to change your mind about something. Perhaps an old way of doing things has become automatic. Now you've gained greater clarity, you can make a new choice. Regardless of what the change is, you can expect to be understood and to have clear communication with others. Ideas are solid, and the shift that is being called for is of the highest good. The medicine of wind comes as medicine when you're invited to recognize the value of chaos. Windstorms provide necessary chaos to clear the air and spread seeds, so plants and trees can take root in new fields. Right now, it may seem as if your world has been turned upside down, but this is a temporary storm that will blow over. Perhaps communication is broken down between you and another, or your many to-do lists are overwhelming you. The medicine is to simplify, slow down, course correct if you need to, and wait out the storm to clean things up. Just know that all storms have great value if you can remain neutral during their course. Greater clarity and good things will come from it all. Remember, this too shall pass. Oh, I love that. So when I drew the wind card, I was so excited because I really, really, truly love the wind. Of all the elements, ironically, I find the wind quite playful. And in that playfulness, I find joy. And one of the most amazing things about wind for me is I can remember when we were, I think, I don't remember how old I was now that I'm thinking about it, but at some point, I remember there was a huge gust of wind and it blew right by I had a short bob, I remember that, and my hair flew straight up. And it had been a very calm, warm day. So there wasn't really any airflow anywhere. And all of a sudden there was this gust, and it was like standing in the middle of a whirling dervish. And my hair went straight up, and I remember feeling the laughter of the wind and the air elementals. I have no other words to describe the sensation. And I knew they were playing with me. And I knew that there was nothing to fear. So when the wind blows really strong, most people, well, not most people, but I have had conversations with people where they push against it, right? Like it's an irritant, makes them cranky. But the air elemental is all about joy and connection and change. And the ability to look at that change and find the joy in the change and find the connection and the playfulness amidst the chaos and the change. I have an acquaintance that, well, I'll get to that in a minute, but wind and then whale, so we have water, wind and water, and whale is profound emotional health and stability. And I think the word in that sentence is profound. A whale is not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain. They have overcome many challenges in their lives. The experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. So water, whale, depth, stability, ancient wisdom. And self-care is representing earth, so grounding. I am grounded, I am stable, I am strong. And the journal prompt, how do you feel after taking time to connect to the earth physically through the visualizations and meditations? So one of the things that I love about today's cards is that we have air and water and earth. And earth herself, our big, wonderful, amazing Gaia, or Pachamama, or Mother Earth, or whatever name you want to use from whatever culture in the world, she herself is fire. Think of volcanoes and plate tectonics. She is fire. And where I was going a minute ago was I have a friend who is really both struggling with a lot of change and a lot of things going on, and conversely also struggling with the overwhelm. And one of the things that I have noticed in my acquaintance is that there is a verbal distaste for chaos and change, and yet a thriving within that change. And you know, wind energy is finding the joy and finding that connection in wind of communication, of change, of connecting. And my acquaintance friend is someone that I am constantly saying, you should take a deep breath. And breath is where we connect in to that life force, that oxygen exchange that we need to oxygenate our blood so that we can continue to live. You know, we can do without water for a little while, and we can do without food for a little while, but we cannot do without breath. If you do not have breath, you do not last. And I think that these cards all remind us of that, right? Like our electrical system is the fire, and it is what runs the meat suit. It's what keeps it going. And there is this connection of air, water, and earth that helps remind us of our connection into our physical bodies, to connect into being present, being strong, being connected. And I think the journal prompt is interesting, where it says, how do you feel when you take time to connect with the earth physically or through meditation? Well, it says visualization, meditation, but meditation and connecting in require you to slow down at the same time that wind, as you're breathing all that air in, you're breathing all that air, you're connecting in. The irony I find amazing, right? Like, the more you ground in requires you to do deeper breathing, different forms of breathing, putting your tongue in different placements in your mouth. Like, all of those things are tools so that you can be present and be in that place of connection, that place of peace. I talk about place of peace a lot, and I want to kind of touch on it today because this morning I So I'm going on a trip this weekend, and I'm starting to stress out about it a little bit. I was doing fine, and then this morning I woke up and I was a little crabby, and I realized, I'm stressing out about this a little bit. And so I did a little extra map session this morning, and I did a little bit more gua sha than I normally do. And as I'm laying there and I'm working through it, one of the things that I was realizing is that, yes, I'm starting to get a little anxious. I'm starting to get a little worried about the trip, not because of the driving or because of roads or weather. None of that bothers me. It was the uncertainty of actually where we're going. And as I'm breathing into it and I'm really connecting into my body, there was a couple moments in there where I was able to connect to my place of peace. And I talk about my place of peace is right here. And in the body of 9, learning, this right here, your manibrium, is natural number 3. And natural number 3 is about the crystallization of the synthesization and crystallization of knowing. But the words here are generosity, drive, focused, connection. So it makes sense because natural number 3 is also the only natural number that is activated with a smile. And when I talk about my place of peace, I always smile. There's always this place inside of me that bubbles up. When I find it within myself, I can bubble up that joy, and I can lay in the dark in my bed and smile. And in the natural number 3 body of 9 language, the words that we use the most are called focus, very intense focus. And for me, I have noticed that as I have trained and as I have become a person that now is out in the world identifying people with my team, I am finding that, that today's morning connection, my place of peace, that I try to connect to my place of peace every day, many times a day. And for me, it's a connection of breath. It is a connection of that water element of I've been through all these things and I can still find my place of peace, and it's a place of joy and happiness. And I connect into my body. Like this morning I did extra gua sha, and gua sha for me is both getting that cranio and the fascial crystalline system all working in my meat suit so that my electrical system will work well. And so it is all 4 elements all coming together with the 5th element of spirit. The spirit within connects into the physical body, and I become safe, and I become grounded, and I become connected to purpose. And the anxiety and the worry about this trip just kind of melted away. So I talk about it all the time. I do a morning ritual, for lack of a better way of saying it. When my husband has gotten up and he's gone to work, sometimes I'll take my meds and roll over and go back to sleep and then do it later when I wake up later. But this morning, I didn't roll over and go back to sleep. This morning, I woke up and took my meds, and then I was like, I'm going to do a map session. And then I did my tuning fork. I have a sonic slider upstairs, and I did that. And then I was realizing the anxiety, so I did a second map, and then when I got done with my map, I did a little bit of extra gua sha. So I went through a whole cycle 4 times. And I wasn't focusing on the elements, but when I did the 4th one is when I really kind of was breathing into that, and I was, oh, here's my place of peace. Here we go. And the realization of, I have been through so much. I have been the whale, right? I've been through all these emotional things, and things are finally starting to connect again in my world in a different, richer, fuller way, where I can recognize and yet not be tipped by other people's perception of change and chaos in the wind. I love wind. I find joy and happiness and connection with wind. And I have since I was a child. So in today's journal prompt, when you're writing about it, not just how do you feel after taking time to connect with Earth physically through visualization or meditation, but think about the mantra, I am grounded, I am stable, I am strong. And I'd love for you to explore, what is your connection in the elements when you are doing things that have to do with grounding? I mean, there is a reason why my business is called Elemental Healing. I can pretty much connect anything to elements. It's something that I have intrinsically always done. It's extraordinarily important to me to help people learn about that and connect to it in a way that's real, that's not just a philosophical, metaphysical brain exercise, but really feel it in your body. And one of my favorite tools right now is gua sha. I think my guides kind of led me to that in a session with a client, and then I went off the deep end and did a whole bunch of research, and it's really making a difference in many people's lives now. I mean, I've always been a big proponent of brushing as soon as I realized what brushing was, and it was ironically my son Thor's physio or occupational therapist when he was 2. She taught me about brushing, and so I've used brushing off and on for several years now. Okay, so he's 26, I think, 27. I think he just had a birthday, actually. He did. He had a birthday in October. I'm really bad at math. He's in his 20s. He'll be in his 30s soon. And I think that I'm going to do a series of daily devotionals that are just about natural numbers, because I feel like I hop around them a lot, and that might confuse people. But anyway, today's cards, wind and the whale and grounding. So earth, water, air, and fire is Earth herself. She's around us all the time. So I hope you all have a beautiful day, my friends. I do have 2 banked videos scheduled to go out, one tomorrow and one on Monday, because I am going on a trip. I will be back on Monday, or I'll be back Sunday night, and but I will have trip laundry, and I have a thing Monday evening, and it's crazy business. So, and next week is forecasted to be extraordinarily busy, even though I have blocked off a whole afternoon in the middle of the week that I promised myself I would not overbook. So there's a lot going on, but I do have you all in mind, and I have some banked videos that are new, that are coming out. They're recorded daily devotions that I've done in the last month or so. I hope you all have a beautiful day. I really encourage you to connect to your place of peace, wherever your place of peace is. My place of peace, I always, and have since the beginning of daily devotionals, and I was learning about Body of 9, I realized that when I talk about place of peace, I always tap right here. I tap my manubrium. And I do think energetically and physiologically there's something to it. I haven't done a deep dive into it, and I probably should. It's a piece of research. But, where was I going with that? I'm a little scattered today. Can you tell? I do encourage you to find your place of peace every day. Center in. Where is your center? Is your center your natural number? Is your center your solar plexus, what people think of as the center? Is your center a state of mind? Is your center a place, a physical place your body needs to be? Where is your center and where is your joy? Because when you find your center, there is only joy. I get a combination of a sense of calm. I get a sense of connection. I get a sense that everything's going to be okay. Have a beautiful day, my friends, and I will see you in prayer. Blessed be.